Lyanna Stark was the sister of Eddard Stark and the one true love of Robert Baratheon. While never depicted in the television show, her alleged kidnapping by Rhaegar Targaryen and the events that followed sparked Robert's rebellion, which landed him on the Iron Throne. Lucretia is a Roman figure who committed suicide after being raped by the Etruscan king's son, a tragedy that sparked the revolution to overthrow the monarchy and establish the Roman Republic. Her last words, "Pledge me your solemn word that the adulterer shall not go unpunished," also seem to mimic Lyanna's famous final words, "Promise me, Ned." In Game of Thrones Season 4 premiere, Jaime Lannister received a shiny new gold hand to replace the one that was hacked off the king's lair. However, follows in the footsteps of Godfrey von Blitzingen, or as he was known, Gotts of the Iron Hand. Like Jaime, Gotts was born to a noble family before serving as an imperial knight. During battle, Gotts's hand was blown off by a cannon. Not easily deterred, Gotts designed a prosthetic iron hand and returned to combat. He's well known for his catchphrase, Kan mich shamash lecken, he can lick my ass, which also makes him a precursor to future Immers Bender. In the show, Stannis follows the advice of the Red Woman, Melisandre, who worships a foreign lord of light, Allah. The faith of Allah appears to be based on the ancient Persian religion Zoroastrianism. In Zoroastrianism, fire is considered a medium for spiritual awareness and wisdom, with worshippers often praying in the presence of fire or in fire temples. Like the followers of the Lord of Light, Zoroastrianism also stresses a great struggle and the duality between good and evil. In the series it is referred to as the Lord of Light and the Great Other. As of right now, there is no evidence to suggest that demon shadow babies actually existed. Theon grew up in Winterfell as a ward to Lord Eddard Stark and a surrogate brother to Robb. Following the outbreak of the War of the Five Kings, Theon was one of Robb's most trusted advisors. After Robb sent Theon to meet with his father, Balon Greyjoy, Theon turned on his friend and invaded the north. Theon's historical counterpart, George Plantagenet, was brother to Edward IV of York and, like Theon, began the War of the Roses as a staunch York defender. Much like Theon, George Plantagenet turned on his brother during the War of the Roses and defected to the Lancasters. After Edward won the war, George was drowned in a butt of wine for his treason, which is a much kinder punishment than the many atrocities that Theon has endured. As evil as he is, King Joffrey's vicious personality seems to be rooted in history. Edward of Lancaster was the son of King Henry VI and Margaret of Anjou and, like Joffrey, he was rumoured to be of illegitimate birth. Also like Joffrey, Edward had a touch of madness, and he shared Joffrey's affinity for lopping off the heads of his enemies. The ambassador of Milan once wrote, "This boy, though only 13 years of age, already talks of nothing but of cutting off heads or making war, as if he had everything in his hands or was the god of battle or the peaceful occupant of that throne." History also gave Edward his comeuppance. He was stabbed to death by Edward IV of York, the real-life equivalent of Robb Stark.